When you visit the beautiful island of St. Kitts, there are lots of things that will enchant you. It might be the sandy beaches or lush landscapes that stretch from one end of the island to the other. It might be the Georgian architecture prominent in Independence Square. It might be the quaint shops that wind through the town of Bastyr. Or it might be the colorful activities witnessed at the market along the shoreline. But one image that proves to be the most memorable sight to all is the Berkeley Memorial, which proudly stands as a landmark for the center of town. Gracing the pages of numerous books and postcards, it has become a timeless piece of art unto itself. Welcome to Culture Beat. I'm Marlene Phillips-Lee.
And I am Rastamboro Kitwano. Here we are at the Berkeley Memorial Drinking Fountain and Clock. How many times have you passed this very site without giving any thought to the history of it? Sure, we might see people using the fountain from time to time, but what do we really know about why it is here? Well, we are about to dispel the mystery.
On March 29, 1883, Lord Combermere had the George Smith and Company Sun Foundry Glasgow build and erect the Berkeley Memorial in honor of Thomas B. H. Berkeley, who died on December 6, 1881.
Thomas Berkeley was recognized as a planter, a legislator of St. Kitts, and he also served as president of the General Legislative Council of the Leeward Islands Federation. Married to Alice Hart, he was the father of 6. He had 3 daughters and 3 sons. Expressed in his will, dated November 9, 1881, he left a considerable amount of wealth to his loved ones.
Shadwell Estate was left to his son, John Hart, Leedon Estate to his son, Henry Spencer, and Fountain Estate to his son, Humphrey George. All of them were entitled to inherit these estates, with the condition that each must make an annual payment of £100 to his beloved wife for the full term of her natural life.
To each of his daughters, he allotted a monetary amount to be used at their discretion. He also arranged for his sister Anna Isabella to receive an annual payment of £30 for the full term of her natural life.
Thomas Berkeley was held in high regard and given the utmost respect by both his friends and peers, who had the following inscription etched into a unique and functional clock monument, which reads,
"This drinking fountain has been erected by the countrymen and private friends of the late, the Honorable Thomas Berkeley Hartman Berkeley, of the most distinguished Order of St. Michael and St. George, and President of the Legislative Council of the Leeward Islands. In recognition of the many valuable services he rendered this his native island as a planter, a politician, and a citizen. His sterling qualities, his love for this island, and his deep interest in the welfare of the country at large entitled him to a memorial by which his memory will be preserved and perpetuated. Born the 14th of January, 1824, died the 6th of December, 1881.
Now that you know the history behind the Berkeley Memorial Drinking Fountain and Clock, we would like to show you what makes it tick.
It was in the late 80s when the Berkeley Memorial and the clock had been more or less abandoned. Mr. Gilfillan, who was looking after it, couldn't get it to work. It had fallen into a state of disrepair and was literally falling apart. TDC adopted it. We did extensive repairs both to the tower, the base, the stonework at the base, with the assistance of the sugar factory. We had the tower repaired, welded, put back together. The faces and hands of the clock were all repaired and renovated. The mechanism itself was in very bad shape. I managed to take that out and take it home and strip it all down and build new parts for it, put in new bushings, cleaned it up, got it repaired and put it back. And after a lot of work, we managed to get it working again.
Mr. Bertram Gilfillan has taken on the responsibility of winding the clock regularly.
The late Honorable Robert Welling Bradshaw, who knew me very well as his personal friend. As a matter of fact, when he was growing up, he would ask me to assist him with his English. And he became one of the best speakers in the Caribbean, incidentally. And he told me one day that I should go and see about that clock in the circus, since I knew that I was. And I came and looked at it and got it repaired, and I've been doing that now since 1983.
I think it's very, very important for us to keep track of our history and to maintain our heritage sites, because it is good for the youth to know what came before.
I can be of service to our cultural heritage, and I hope that I will live many more years to be able to do it. Or even at my age of 79, I might live another 100 years, perhaps, and continue to do it.